Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us for the webinar for Luna PERA. Um, so today we'll just go over what Luna PERA is all about, why we put up Luna PERA, and all the other features of it now. What are the advantages? What can you do with Luna PERA? And all of that stuff. So, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday morning to join us, and we can begin. Sige. So, siguro we can have John, our chairman, no, to kind of give our opening remarks on why we put up Luna Pera and what are we all about.
Yes. Is my camera on? Can you see me? Nick?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's preview of what we are about to offer investors. 3 years ago, exactly almost 3 years ago, we introduced Luna, the first mobile trading platform in the Philippines, as well as we offered convenience investors like instant funding, the usage of APIs, and most probably we're the first to have direct connections with at least three banks. That's BPI, Union Bank, and RCBC. So now you can enjoy instant funding. And not only that, given the digital composition of what we have put together, every is and uh, so
Sorry, Dad, you're a little
and
choppy.
for all the activities you do. Okay, am I good? Okay. Going back, using our app, you get instant feedback or email to all the things that you do, therefore delivering security and transparency. So today, on our third year, going on our third year, we are introducing Luna Pera. So, what's Luna Pera for every investor? It basically completes the necessary tools or investment avenue to secure and balance your portfolios. Maybe in a different session is something how to sort of create a more balanced portfolio. It's not just betting on stocks, but hedging your bets with fixed income. Welcome and thank you for spending your Saturday. We will be hearing from Nick what Pera can do for you and why it's it important for every Filipinos to have not only in terms of investing, but more importantly, the kind of savings and returns that it can bring being tax free. No, so Nick, let's learn more about Pera. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Um, so I want to start by kind of giving some background data no, on why we found Pera really important for the Philippines and why um, we worked really hard to put up this Luna Pera as soon as we can. No? So as John mentioned earlier, right, we got our license from the SEC and BIR last September of 2025, and we are opening Luna Pera for close friends, family, and clients within this week. No? And then by next week or the week after that or so, we'll open it up to the public. So why is Pera so important and why do Filipinos need it today? So just looking at the data now. Yeah. Okay. So the Philippines in general is way behind when it comes to retirement funds. Now, there are three main figures here on the slide. Now, first is the 16%. That is the pension fund asset to GDP ratio. Now, the 16% represents us, the Philippines, and essentially, this metric is used to determine whether a country is prepared for retirement or not. So, how many funds do we have allocated for retirement? The best in Asia. So countries like Singapore, Japan, they're at around 55%. Now, OECD is kind of like your economic baseline or like the kind of standard that you want to achieve. No. So OECD average is around 100% with countries like the US and Canada in that 125 to 160% mark. So what does this low ratio mean? Essentially, there's a heavy reliance on personal savings to sustain yourself or to sustain expenses upon retirement. So pensions are not pre-funded, essentially meaning that the country in itself is not prepared to provide retirement. Now, so this is on a macro level, right? So on a micro level, we can experience something like this. 77% of all financial senior or of all senior support in the Philippines comes from family, whether it be their kids or let's say their siblings or all sorts of utang within the family, I guess. No, so 77% of your total retirement support comes from family. The remaining 23% is from your SSS or whatever pension benefits you are qualified for, should you qualify for some. Next. 3 years, that is usually the lifespan of savings upon retirement. So for the average Filipino, when they retire at 60 or 65 years old, right, anywhere between that, they only have around 3 years left before they're completely out of savings and are fully reliant again on either their family, more specifically their kids, no, or utang, or bringing down their lifestyle to maintain only a 5,000 to 8,000 peso monthly expense, no, which is usually what your SSS pay out. Next. So because again you run out of savings that quickly, over 50% of senior citizens in the Philippines work past retirement, and these aren't your desk jobs or your cushy jobs, right? These are hard labor work. Because again after 65, right, you're by law required to retire. So these are the only kinds of employment that is available to senior citizens at this point. And because of that, we have one of the lowest life expectancies in the Philippines at around 72. So this is why we found it really important to create a platform wherein retirement and building a retirement fund is very feasible. So in 2008, there was a law that passed by for PERA. Now, what is PERA exactly? It, again, as some saw in the video earlier, no, PERA is essentially your special retirement account. And within the special retirement account, there are a few benefits. No, first is your tax benefit. Um, so for every contribution that you put in for the year, let's say I put in 100,000 pesos in my PERA account for the year, I get a 5% tax credit. Now, this tax credit can be applied to your income tax. So, if again with that example, now if I put in 100,000 pesos into my PERA account, I have a 5,000 peso tax coupon that I can use to pay out my income tax the following year. Next, the other benefit is that you have tax-free earnings. So all capital gains are tax-free. So traditionally, if you were to go to the bank and let's say invest in a fund, let's say a BPI equity fund, right, you will be charged 20% withholding tax. Likewise, if you were to invest in fixed income via a bank, right, you're going to be charged a 20% withholding tax. For investing with Pera, you no longer have to pay that tax. And then the other, I guess, final tax benefit that you would receive, no, would be in the case of death, there is no estate tax for any beneficiaries that you have. So when you pass away and you want to leave your PERA account with your kids, or let's say your husband or your wife, they're able to receive this money estate tax free. So yeah. Then the next benefit is reportability. So this belong as soon as you open your PERA account, it belongs to you and you alone. So it's under your name. It's not subject to your employer. It's not subject to how long you've working for a certain company. No. As soon as you open it and you put the money into it, it's yours. You get to take it with you wherever you go. Let's say you change careers, or you change jobs, or you change a different company, right? It stays with you. And then last, um, you're able to access financial tools at a much lower cost, because again, this is fully dedicated towards building a retirement fund. So yeah. So what are the advantages of investing with Luna? So first, Luna is the first para administrator to offer the full para suite, or the complete para suite of stocks, para funds, and fixed income or government securities. So things like T-bills and T-bonds. And our minimum investment for fixed income starts at 500 pesos. Next, we offer the lowest fees in the market. So because we are fully dedicated towards giving you the best care, we're fully dedicated towards making Pera more accessible to as many Filipinos as we can. Now, we decided to lower the cost as much as we can as well. So our maintaining balance is only 500 pesos. And instead of your traditional Pera admin fee of a percentage, wherein para admins will charge somewhere between 0.04 to 1.5%. No, we decided to charge on a flat rate of 200 pesos plus VAT. So a total amount of 224 pesos. And then lastly, our starting commission rates for stocks and for fixed income start at 0.20%, which is around 25% cheaper than the closest competitor. And we offer a dynamic commission scheme wherein the bigger the trade value. So let's say you put in 1,000,000 pesos in terms of your fixed income or into a stock, right? Your commission rate goes all the way down to 0.12%. Yun. And in terms of digital compliance, we are fully uh, connected with the BIR and with the BSP for the Pegasus system. And then you also have 24/7 access to all financial records. So your statement of account is accessible anytime, anywhere, as long as you have internet. No? And then for the accreditation, so the tax credit that I was talking about, that 5% tax credit, no, we automate that ourselves, so you guys don't have to go through the hassle of dealing with HR, or having to go to the BIR to claim your tax credit. No, we will do that now for you. This is part of that 200 peso service fee. And then with that, we have the same US standard security as we do with our Luna trading app, now given that we are a Google Cloud based trading platform. And then last is guided growth. We understand that the journey doesn't stop with just you guys signing up. No, we don't want to leave you guys alone as soon as you open your account. Parang kaya bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo. Di ganon, right? So we have created a team of dedicated para advisors, which you can assign to yourself, to your account, no, at no extra cost. This is again part of that 200 peso admin fee. No, so what these para advisors will do will they're essentially a resource for you should you need more understanding of what a stock is or how to invest in stocks. What is a fund? What is fixed income? How do we invest in fixed income? They are there to help you answer all of those questions. No, they cannot give specific advice. They cannot say you need to buy this stock or you need to buy this particular fund. Um, by law, they're not allowed to do that, or they're not authorized to do that. But should you have any questions regarding the certain state of the economy and how it will affect your investments, or if you guys have any concerns regarding whatever, they are there to help you make better investment decisions. Now, should you need more guidance throughout your journey, and then you're also going to be chosen for webinars with the Luna team. So we will have regular webinars to discuss certain things. Should, let's say, there be some groundbreaking news, we can also discuss that throughout the webinars. And of course, we'll also have regular circulars to help you guys make better investment decisions. Yeah, so with Luna Para, we'll make retirement easier together. So let's now go to the platform itself. Okay. So this is our new website, lunasecurities.com/para. Now, for those who kind of look at our website on a regular basis, now you might notice that it's not available on the menu bar just yet. No, there's no Para tab specifically, and that's because again we're trying to make this a little bit more exclusive for clients and close friends and family. Um, before we fully launch Luna Para. So we would appreciate any feedback that you might have for the platform or any of our services and all that stuff. And so again, this is Luna Para, and we have all of these great things: more options, lower rates, live view of your statement of accounts, and less barriers. No hidden charges, no percentage-based admin fees, and all that stuff. So on the Luna Pera website, you'll able to better understand like what is Pera, what are the exact benefits, and all that stuff. Now for opening a Pera account, you only need a few things. You need to be a Filipino citizen or a local resident, no, who is at least 18 years old, and then you need a TIN and a bank account. So the onboarding process is pretty simple. You just create an account with us, and I'll go through the onboarding process step by step. No? Um, you just need to create an account with us. You contribute yearly, claim your tax credit, and invest. And by the time you reach 55 years old and you have contributed for at least 5 years, it doesn't have to be consecutive. So let's say you're 20, I'm 26 years old right now. So within 26 to 55, as long as I've contributed at least 5 years or at least 5 times within that time period, no, I am able to withdraw without penalty. Now, what specifically is this penalty? No. Again, since PERA is dedicated towards your retirement exclusively, no, that's why you're able to receive all these great tax benefits and all the tax-free stuff and all those things. No. So if you were to withdraw earlier than 55, the penalty is just returning the tax benefits you've received. We'll get into the exact calculations of that later, no, but essentially whatever tax benefits you've received, whether it's the withholding tax deferment or the tax credit, no, you just have to return that to the BIR. That's the penalty, no, so we're not taking more than what you owe. And again, I mentioned the advantages of trading with of using the Luna Pera platform. And then let's get into our fees. So we're very transparent about our fees because we understand this is very important. No? So again, we only have a flat admin fee of 200 pesos per year plus VAT, so 224. Now for the stocks themselves, we have your standard transaction fee, so like the PSE transaction fee, stock transaction fee. So we don't charge anything really on top of that except for the commission fee, which again is already much lower than market practice of 0.20 to 0.12%. For funds, we don't have our own funds. We are not fund managers. We are just distributors of Pera funds themselves. So our partnered banks, BPI, East West, and a few more are on the way. So for those funds, we don't charge anything extra. It's just fully dependent on the Pera fund provider themselves. So I believe BPI, their funds vary from like 0.5 to 1.5% depending on the specific para fund that you buy. Then for fixed income, again, it's just commission fee of 0.20 to 0.12% um, each way. So when you buy a T-bill, for example, you'll be charged 0.20 to 0.12, and then when that T-bill matures and you get it back, you also get charged a 0.20 to 0.12%. So, yeah. And then our para specialists or para advisors, no, so these aren't just your run of the mill advisors that we picked up from anywhere. These are experts in the field. These guys have been in the industry for almost up to 40 years, just like our chairman. So they have their own areas of expertise, whether it be investment banking, whether it be fund management, whether it be um, an economist, no. And we chose these people specifically because of their dedication towards financial literacy and financial support. Um, these aren't just people that we're just paying a bunch of money to, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll help out, so to speak. This is something that they're really passionate about, and it's something that they're going out of their way to really help us with this kind of cause. So we have the likes of Charles Gamo, Ray Guarin, Ian Saison, Jonathan Rivelas, who is quite popular with the radio and TV shows. Efren Cruz is the CEO of Personal Finance PH, which is like a advisory group for financial support, and Gerald Abad, who used to be with BDO. So our team of advisors is very good when it comes to giving advice and giving support when it comes to investing in itself. So yeah. Okay, so let's get into the onboarding process. No? So for those who have Luna accounts, um, we made it pretty simple, pretty seamless, wherein you just need your video declaration and a signature. So for those who don't have Luna accounts yet, uh, this is essentially the onboarding process. No? So we just need your contact details, so like an email and your phone number, just so we can send the OTP, and then your personal details, so address, employment details, your TIN and ID. So for the ID, it's any government ID, whether it be passport, license, national ID, whatever it is. Now, for this video declaration part, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is record yourself saying I am your name and you want to open a Luna PERA account. Now, the reason why we have this is because of our exception from the SEC to be fully digital. Since we are fully digital, this is what the SEC required from us. No? So this is essentially to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you're a real human being and all that stuff. Then last is your signature, your settlement bank account, and then your login credentials, your login details. Now, for those again who have Luna accounts, you just need this thin area, this thin section, video declaration section, and signature. And then for those who don't have Luna accounts yet, we made it pretty easy to open a Luna account as well, should you want one. So we made it pretty seamless on that end. Okay, so let's log in. Okay. So after going through the onboarding process, now there is a secondary onboarding process. It's pretty short, just for us to get your risk profile. So it will look something like this. Yeah. So just for us to get your risk profiling. So what is your monthly income, and etc. etc. Just for us to better recommend certain products based on your risk appetite. No, and then after that, you'll be selecting your PERA advisor. Again, you can choose from our 10 PERA advisors that we have available, and then um any beneficiaries that you may have. So, let's say your husband, your wife, your kids, you can already assign who's gonna get what and how much of your PERA account they're gonna get. So yeah. And then after you fill those up, you this is essentially what you'll have. So you'll have your dashboard here where you can track certain things like your contribution, how your portfolio is doing, and how your investments are doing. Now, when it comes to investments, we have three. As I mentioned earlier, we have the equities or your stocks, you have your para funds, and your fixed income. Now, for para stocks themselves, the SEC has given a list of investable stocks under para. So if you want to view all of them, you can just click over here, view all, right? And we can also filter out certain things. So let's say I only want index, or I only want, let's say, REITs. You get to track all of those here. No? Um, and then let's say I really like BPI. I can click this button right here, and that will add it to my favorites. So there, I can track. It's instantly over there. Now, the trading platform that we have here is our Luna trading platform ourselves. And then you can track things like your vital stats over here and your orders. So if I have, let's say, BPI stock, right, it will show up here and how it's doing and all that stuff. For para funds, again, we have BPI and East West with a few more coming in soon. We're just waiting on the final signatures now. So let's say we go into BPI Para Equity Fund. So it will show here your NAV pool, which is how much the fund is doing right now. And then same thing, it's best for aggressive risk profile. It will update as well depending on the particular fund. Then you can see all the other necessary details like your minimum investment, your trust fee, your cutoff times, and all that stuff. And if you want to know more about the specific fund, you can just click on the link below, and it's directly linked to the BPI website already. So then you can track all the specific stuff from BPI. Now, if you click on this, you say manage investment now, and given that this particular account risk profile is moderate, should you do anything that's above your risk profile now, it will give you a warning. Let's say for this particular instance, your risk appetite is moderate, but you want to invest in a risk level that's more aggressive. Now, it will just let you know, like, hey, this is something that may involve higher risk than your typical investments that we suggested based on your risk profile. Now, please make sure that you understand all of this stuff. So again, we're not gonna stop you from investing as whatever you like. This is just more of a safety check to make sure that you know what you're doing. Yeah. And then for any orders that you may have, you can click on this orders button right here, and it will show you all the pair of funds that you have into your account and how it's doing and all that stuff. Now, last investment product that we have is your government securities. Now, so let's say we have T-bills right now. Let's click on 364. So as you can see here, these are all the necessary details. So the investment period, the issuance date, the rate. So this is your interest rate at 4.56%, and your minimum investment of only 500 pesos. So you can bid now, put in 500, and it will be processed on March 13th. So you okay. Now for on your portfolio page, this is where you can see pretty much how what investments are doing and how they're doing, right? So let's say I want to check on stocks, on my para funds, or my fixed income. All of that's going to be there. So same thing if you go under here, right? You can check what stocks you have and how they're doing, what's your net gain and losses, right? Same thing for para funds, and your fixed income will show up here as well. Now, for contributions, this contributions page, you can track your contribution history, whether you put in 1,000 pesos, 5,000, 40,000, whatever it is. It will show up automatically here. And you can track the accumulated tax credit as well. Um, this also applies if you work with, let's say, your company or your employer, because what you can do is you can work with them to have your retirement in your PERA account as well, rather than having your typical defined benefits program where they give you your retirement at the end of your tenure. You can substitute that with a contribution based retirement. So then they can, instead of giving you one time big time at the end of your career, they can give you small amounts on a monthly, quarterly, yearly basis now. And it will show up in your contribution history as well. So you can track that. So again, you can track your tax credit, your contribution for the year. Now, for locally employed Filipinos or locally employed citizens, no, your limit is only 200,000 pesos. And what I mean by that is the amount that you can put in for your tax credit. No, so really the limit here is 10,000 peso tax credit. Now you can put in more than 200,000 for the year, though we suggest not to do so because then you don't maximize the tax credit you can accumulate. Because your tax credit doesn't expire. So let's say I have a tax credit of 10,000 this year. I can apply that whenever I want. It doesn't expire at all. No. So yun. And then for OFWs, the limit is 400,000 pesos or a 20,000 peso tax credit. Okay. So yeah. Let's go through this real quick so you can edit your address. You cannot edit your TIN, unfortunately, no, but you can edit some other things. Same thing here. If you were to change employment, change status, right? You can switch that up over here. And then I showed this earlier, our benefits beneficiaries page and all that stuff. Yeah. So I guess this is kind of where we shine the most. This is our statement of accounts. So as I mentioned earlier, this is all live data. So as soon as a transaction is approved, so let's say I put a deposit and that has been cleared, or I buy a stock or I buy a fund or whatever, right? It will show up automatically here. And our accounting is done line by line, so we're able to accurately check what tax benefits you have received throughout the year. So if you do have a case of early withdrawal, right, you can be assured that the penalty that you will receive is completely accurate based on all your transactions. So yun. So let's say I want to look at my receipt for the sold stock that I have. I just click this button here, right, and it will show up. So all our receipts, same thing with our Luna trading platform. No, all our receipts are BIR approved e-receipts. So you can just print this out, and these are perfectly legal. Um, so you can see all the details of the transaction right here. Then likewise, if I want to do the full SOA, I just click this download button right here, and a PDF will show up in just what bit. So and again, there we go. So click this button right here, and you have the full statement of accounts line by line, right? And you can see all the transactions. See it. And then for funding, right now we only do bills payment. Uh, but as you know, with our Luna trading account, right, we have our Luna Fund now, which is our API connections with RCBC, Union Bank, and BPI. So that allows for instant funding. Now we are working on having our API connections available for Luna PERA as well. That shouldn't take too long. We just have to switch up a few things now. But for now, we're offering a bills payment with a minimum deposit again of only 500 pesos. So with bills payment, it usually takes around 1 to 3 business days, depending on the bank, um, for us to see, for it to reflect on your account. Now for withdrawals, since this account is not yet 55 years old and has not been contributing for at least 5 years, right? Since we just opened this recently, it will show here the early withdrawal breakdown and your early withdrawal amount. Now, should you reach that 55 and 5 mark, this will no longer be the case. It will just be the case of how much you can withdraw and whether you want it a lump sum withdrawal or do you want it periodically. We can set that up as well. So again, you can see here the total tax benefit penalty that they have received and the total withdrawable amount. Yeah. Now, for the tax credit, again, we automate the issuance. So by December 31st, we collect all the records from all the accounts and we submit it to the BIR using the PERA system, and we can immediately file for the tax credit for BIR. Then, if let's say you want to hold your issuance for the following year, so let's say you won't be paying any income tax the following year, right? So you want to save up your tax credit. So when you do have income tax, you can pay for it. You can hold it off. Oh, so that's an option. That's an option. The other option that we have is early or partial claiming. So I should you need the tax credit right away, or you only need a certain amount of your tax credit. So let's say I accumulated over here 2,750 pesos, but next year my income tax is only 2,000 pesos. You can request for or for partial claiming. So you can ask for only 2,000 pesos, and that 750 pesos that you accumulated, that doesn't go away. Yeah. So that stays with you, pare. So, and then our deadline for all either holding or partial or early claiming, no, the deadline is December 15th. After December 15th, we're not able to uh accept any more requests because again we have to compile all the records and submit it to BIR right away. Yeah. And then on the bottom you can check your tax credit request history. So how much tax credit you've accumulated so far and what has been used and what hasn't. Yeah. Um so yeah, that's pretty much the Luna PERA platform, and that's pretty much all it has to offer. No, when it comes to the tax credit, we work with the HR department that you're working for specifically to kind of automate that process already, so that you guys have an easier time when it comes to this tax credit stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions so far regarding the platform, regarding the PERA itself, any of the fees that we have, and all that stuff?
Yeah. Uh, Nick, maybe you might want to add, um, having been in the finance uh, uh, industry for the last 40 years, for the first time, any investments that individual makes, it's pretty registered. So it's the safest so far, since whatever you do, whether you deposit, whether you buy, whether you sell, it's all reported accordingly. For stocks, your name is registered for whatever purchases under the PDS, together with the BIR, in order to record whatever tax credit or tax exemptions that you will be entitled. No different with when you buy funds. Um, we do not register ourselves as the buyer, but there will be a cross registration with the bank. Therefore, it is you, the owner of the that particular investment, and together that is also registered with BSP and BIR. Same thing with the fixed income, which we are starting largely just T-bills for now. No, when we buy, it might be taken as Luna PERA for various accounts, but behind that registration is individual stakeholders or participated in the that particular auction. No, just for everyone understanding on the fixed income, normally we withhold the money that on face value, and then upon awarding of uh, uh, awarding of the winners of the auction, your money will be uh, um, there will be a return of money, which basically represents the discount or the interest rate, together with whatever fees that uh, we will be charging, which is nominal or very little. Just imagine us taking a 500 peso T-bill participation. We only earn a peso, and for us, this is a sort of a mission for every Filipino not to retire poorly. Let all Filipinos retire wealthily. So um, again, this is, I would say, the best. And with technology now, it is made easier compared when the law was passed in 2008. That's why, for the longest time, no one would like to put their hands or dip their fingers to do PERA. And since we are more of a tech company, and we feel that it's we can do it. That's why we pursued to get the license, and to some extent, since our back room is designed to almost the same, offering the same simplicity and transparency, and it's the same technology we sort of use, and was able to deliver the backroom system in in 2 months upon after receiving the authorization or permit to operate as an administrator from SEC and BIR. No? Again, we are applying the same thing, full digital and all cloud. So therefore, we can promise that it will be fast and always up 24/7. Yeah. So anything else? Yeah. Any questions we would with which we can answer? So um, in the previous on the first sort of briefing, someone asked, how do you uh, transfer your if you have an existing PERA account with somebody else, how do you transfer it to Luna? Nick, you might want to answer that.
Um, yeah, so the transfer process needs to be initiated on the client's end. So let's say if I want to transfer from my current Pera administrator to the Luna Pera platform, I have to essentially tell my administrator, hey, I want to transfer, and then the administrator will collect all your records, um, submit it to the BIR and BSP for processing, and the process needs to be done within 15 days so that the current admin that I'm under does not receive any penalty. No. And then after that, Luna Pera will receive my records and all my assets, and then from there we can create my account under Luna Pera, and that's pretty much it. No? It's a pretty simple process. It's more on you just need to tell your current admin that you would want to transfer. So yeah. And then if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to leave it on the chat, or if you're a little bit more of an extrovert, please feel free to open your mics and to ask specific questions. Now this is the time for us to really accept questions and for us to answer them. So please feel free to ask anything you would like regarding our fees, regarding the platform itself, how does the investing process work, any of that stuff. And if nobody has any questions, really, uh, please feel free to go. Um, Now it's really just the time for Q&A. But if you don't have anything, thank you so much for participating in our webinar, and we hope that you guys open Luna Pera account soon. If you have any follow-up questions, let's say you do your own research and you start having questions like, oh, paano ba to? Paano ba yan? Feel free to either email us at hello@lunasecurities.com, or you can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. We'll respond there as well.
So for any further developments and also research whatever that we do, um, please follow Luna Securities on Facebook. Also, we are in Instagram and YouTube.
Yep, YouTube, TikTok, we have those as well. If you guys have any follow-up questions in the near future, please feel free to just contact us via social media or through email. It's on their website. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time out of your Saturday to join us, and we hope to see you soon.
Pera? Luna?
Pero